Hari Om. Let's start with a prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Vedanta Sangraha of Sri Ramaraya Kavi and taking the first chapter, which is essentially a Drusya Prapancham heading. The chapter heading is about the world that is seen. And we will talk about if we don't see, is there a world or not. But here it talks about that what you experience, the world, and it starts with in the statement, there are two things in the universe. One is the seer and the seen, druk and drusyam. And seer is also called chit and also called jnanam, and the drusyam is called achit or jadam vyavaharanti. So they are synonyms as per his statements. And the druk, the seer, is swaprakasham. That means he doesn't need to be seen. He is not an object for perception, but he is a self-revealing, self-conscious entity which also swaprakashatve sadi. So itara sarva vabhasakatvam. So not only he is self-shining, but he illumines everything else that is it falls in its span. So therefore, it is not only swaprakasham, it is the other also it illumines. So tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Because of that, everything else is seen, and that is called itara, the illumination of itara objects also. And what is the definition? That's the definition of a drusyam. And that's the definition of a druk, seer. Drusyam is seen, and what is the definition of seen? That which has a seeability or knowability. So that which can be seen is a seen. So drusyam comes under that which can be experienced, and that which cannot be seen and cannot come under the drusyam. Here seeing means knowing also. So that which you can know conceptually is also drusyam here, and they are all jadam. They are inert things. So that's how he classified, and we went through analysis and Vedanta Pramana for that also. Now we'll take the second paragraph of his Druk Drusya, the chapter Drusyam world. So second is going to define. He defined Druk and Drusyam. Now more about Druk. Druk padartaha chaturvidaha Brahma Ishwara Kutastha Jiva Vedat Upadakoyam Veda. Oh, sorry, you have to repeat this. Druk padartaha chaturvidaha Brahma Ishwara Kutastha Jiva Vedat Brahma Ishwara Kutastha Jiva Vedat Aupadikoyam Vedaha na tatvikaha Aupadikoyam Vedaha na tatvikaha Mayopahita Druk Brahma Mayavachinnatu Ishvaraha Avidyapahuhita Druk Kutastaha Avidyavachinnatu Jivaha Avidyameva Antakaranam iti Buddhihi iti ja vyavaharanti buddhi iti cha vyavaharanti tat brahma ekameva tatra brahma ekameva ishwarasya tatha tadupadehe mayayaha prakriti ajnanadi paryayaha ekatvam tadupadehe mayayaha prakriti ajnanadi paryayaha ekatvam jivakutastau tu nana tadupadinam anantatyat kechitu kutastam ekameva bruvete kutastam ekameva bruvete upadibedasya aprayojanakatvat. So this is the second paragraph of his text, Drishya Prapancham, where he is now defining the seer, Druk. And Druk Padartha Chaturvivaha. And there are four divisions in the, or four varieties or four divisions in the seer. So seer is talking about Buddha Padartha, entity, what you call seer, or four types. And he giving a definition here: Brahma, Ishwaraha, Kutastaha, Jivaha. This is Chaturvidaha. These are differences among the names we give. So different names are there for Druk and this seer. So Druk is a seer, and he has four ways you can define, or four types: Brahma, Ishwaraha, Kutaha, Jivaha. What's the difference? Upadikoyam Vedaha. Difference is them in terms of Upadi. Upadi means the instrument that is needed for them to see. So, na tatvikaha. There is no fundamental difference among the Druk. Druk is only one. Depending upon the Upadi, you call him different names. And the names only depending upon the Upadi. Upadikoyam Vedaha. Instruments in which you are. So, just as the functionality you can differently. He is a swimmer, he is a walker, he is a cycler, he is a climber. You can give different names, same person, depending on the duty that he is doing. When he is swimming, he is called swimmer. When he is cycling, he is called the cycler. When he is climbing, he is called climber. When he is walker, he is called walker. Same person, depending on the function. Here, depending upon the Upadi instrument, this is the relation between them and the Upadi. You call it as the difference of the Druk. So, seer are four types depending on the Upadikam, not Tatvikaha. There is no fundamentally, absolutely differences, any difference in the seer. Seer has to be conscious entity that he already defined. So, in the consciousness, Chit Swarupam, there is no difference of any kind. That's what he essentially, because it's Ekameva Advitiyam. Now he is giving one by one what are the differences between Brahma, Ishwaraha. Brahma means Brahman, not the Chaturveda Brahma. We are talking about the absolute truth Brahman, and Ishwaraha, then Kutastaha and the Jivaha. So from this comes mostly a little bit also from the Panchadasi text, where the Vidyaranya Swami defines the Ghadakasa, Jalakasa, Meghakasha, Mahakasha, same as the four varieties of the instruments of the reflecting medium, or where you can differentiate Akasha in terms of four types. Only one Akasha, but Ghadakasha, Jalakasha, and Meghakasha and Mahakasha. Same way, Brahman, Ishwara go other direction. Brahman and Ishwara, then Kutastha, then Jiva. So this is a classification of four. Essentially four, how you describe it. And there is not Tatvika, there is no fundamental difference in terms of the bottom line. There is no difference in any of these. So Mayopahita Druk Brahma. So here is Brahman is being defined. Here we have the interesting discussions here. I put this in Advaita list to find out how the people interpret this. But anyway, here we will see how we can interpret. Mayopahita Druk Brahma. Brahma is that. So using Maya Upahita. So he is using the instrument of Maya. He becomes a Druk, seer. Is a seer using the instrument of Maya. Seer means he is a conscious entity using the Maya as a Upadhi. So here, how do you define Brahman? So Brahman is defined from Swarupa Lakshanam and Tadastha Lakshanam. In Vedanta, Brahman is defined both ways. One is Swarupa Lakshanam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is same as Satchid Anandam, is Brahman. That's called Swarupa Lakshanam. Swarupa means it is intrinsic qualification of Brahman. I shouldn't say qualification, intrinsic nature of Brahman. So H2O is not a qualification of water, H2O is water. So when you take H2O is water, H2O is Swarupa Lakshanam of water. So it is made up of that intrinsic structure. And it's not a property, it is the essence of water. So wherever there is a water, it's a H2O only. It doesn't matter where it is. And H2O is water and water is H2O. That's what we define, necessary and sufficient for it to call it as water. It's not really a qualification, because people say Satchidananda are three words. So there is the discussion on this is Satchidananda, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. So you are using three words. Why are you using three words unnecessarily? Unless each is a different quality that is being addressed. Therefore, when it is a quality, then it is a Visheshanam. Visheshanam, then there is a Brahman is a Visheshyam. So Satchidananda are attributes of Brahman. This is what the Visishtadvaita discusses and says, because you are using three words and unnecessarily, if it is the same thing, why it is a Swarupam, you don't call it H2O something else. If it is H2O is only H2O only. But if you are calling with different names, then the other names become the Visheshnas only. So you are using three words. One is Satyam, which is same, different from Jnanam, which is different from Anandam. So there are three words. So there must be the equal emphasis, Samanadhikaranam. So they're pointing out something other than what it is in the same adhikaranam, in the same way, and that is, therefore these are attributive content of Ishwara or Brahman. That's their argument. So it's a Visheshana of the Visheshya. Visheshya is the one which has the locus of the Visheshanas. So locus different from the Visheshanam. Vishesham is the locus for the attributes is different from the attributes. When I say blue lotus, blue is a Visheshanam for the lotus. Blue is different from a lotus. Lotus has the blueness as a property. It may have other properties besides the blueness. It has a particular shape, circular beauty. All other attributes are also defining the lotus, and incidentally it happened to be blue lotus, which excludes red lotus and green lotus and all other lotuses, but it is a blue lotus. So it qualifies, therefore it is called qualification or attribute, therefore it's called Visheshanam. Therefore the Brahman as a Visheshanam, and therefore it's called Gunam. It is Ananta Kalyana Gunam. He has infinite auspicious qualities, and that's Ishvara, and that's what is essentially Brahman from the Visishtadvaita point. And scripture says so because it's using three words, therefore they correspond to attributes of Brahman. So here says the Brahman is Mayopadi Druk Brahman. But it is a Upadhi, instrument for the Brahman. So instrument here is not necessarily that it defines as a quality, you will see later. And as far as the Advaita is concerned, it says Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam or Satchidananda are not attributes of Brahman, they are Swarupa Lakshanam. They are the qualifies, it's not a qualification, it is the very description of Brahman itself. You can call it Sat, you can call it Chit, or you can call it Ananda, because if it is a pure existence itself which is infinite, and it happened to be conscious existence, so consciousness which is infinite, which exists, so they are not two different things. And being infinite is automatically Anandam, because any limitations contribute to suffering. So therefore Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam is only from different aspects, looking at the Brahman only. It's only one, and they are not attributes, they are called Swarupa Lakshanam. And another way of argument is, and this is by Lakshmidhara Kavi in his the Advaita Makaranda, he says that, say, if the Sat or existence is an attribute of Brahman, then you have a problem. So what is the problem? He says attribute is different from the locus of attribute. Blue lotus, blue is different from a lotus. Lotus has the blueness. So one is the locus for the blueness. Lotus is the locus for blueness. Same way, if existence is an attribute, then there must be something different from existence which has the attribute of existence. So that if you say that is an attribute, then you should have a locus which is different from existence. And different from existence is only non-existent. And you are saying that existence is an attribute of non-existence, which is a contradictory. Therefore, existence is not an attribute, it is a very essential nature of Brahman. That's how the Lakshmidhara Kavi in his the Advaita Makaranda says. Here the argument is essentially, is that an instrument or is it really Brahman does have an instrument? Here Mayopahita Druk Brahma. The Brahman is the one who has a Maya as Upadhi. So how can Brahman have a Upadhi? So Brahman being infinite cannot have anything. Why? Because it's infinite. There is no Sajate, Vijate, Beda, Swagat, there is no divisions of anything. He has something, means which is, what he has is different from what he is. So I have a pakodi in my hand, means pakodi is different from me. A simple example. So in the same way, Brahman has Upadhi. When you say Upadhi Sahita Brahman, Maya is something. So here we are look at Maya itself, means the word Maya is Ya, Ma, Sa, Maya. That which is not really there but appears to be there. So from the appearance point, Brahman is the Maya is a Upadhi of Brahman. So the Maya is not really Upadhi of Brahman, but for the purpose of our differentiation, we call it Maya is Brahman is Maya as a Upadhi. So it's called Tatastha Lakshanam, and that's how scripture also defines. How does it define? It says Tad Vijnasasva, but it has to be known. How is it has to be known? So Yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayam tabisham vishanti, tad vijnasasva, tat brahmeti. That is Brahman. So here he is defining Brahman using an incidental attributive content of Brahman. What is the Brahman? The one from which the whole universe came, by which it is sustained, into which it goes back. That is what is Maya is. Total Maya is the whole creative ability, sustainability, and going into it. Also all are part of Maya, and he is the one who is Mayavi. So essentially a indicatory definition for Brahman. That's one way of looking at, and that's called Tatastha Lakshanam, incidental qualification. And the classical example is that there are so many houses there, and they all look alike, and say, you know, that house, which house? That one where right now the bird is sitting, that is John's house. Not that John has a bird all the time. It so happened for me to distinguish John's house from other people's houses, since I cannot tell which is John's house. Therefore, it happened that the crow started sitting there, and therefore I call it, that is John's house where crow is sitting. So crow is sitting, crow is a tatastha lakshanam. Just as bring the pot that is on the table. So when you go there, there are a lot of pots, but there is only one pot that is on the table. So not that pot is always on the table. Pot doesn't have a qualification of being on the table, but this particular pot, it so happened I can identify that pot from the rest of the pots. That's called Tarastha Lakshanam. That is what essentially here is used as Maya Upadi, Maya Upadat Druk. Upadat Druk Brahma. So Brahman, if he wants to see, he has to see through the Maya only, because seeing involves an action, and Brahman cannot act but appears to act. Therefore, it's called the Adhishtanam, and Maya is Adhyasa. So Adhyasa, the Adhishtana, Sambandham here. So one is, there's an ontological difference between the Brahman and Maya. Maya is at a different order, and we say the Brahman is having Maya. Brahman cannot have anything but appears to have a Maya as his Shakti also. Therefore, we call it temporarily Maya Upahita Druk is Brahman. So, with just as the Brahman is all pervading, but for us to know from our point, looking at the Brahman, we can say that Brahman is that who has the Upadi of Maya. So, because where is Maya? Has to be in Brahman only. People ask, where is Avidya? Avidya also has to be in Brahman. Why? Because there cannot be anything other than Brahman. So, Brahman is locus for Avidya, for Maya, and all that also. That's what is essentially here. So, what is the locus for Avidya? You may say in between a Jiva and all that, ultimately is Brahman. And this is an argument also. Again, the Ramanuja criticizes this, and he says, how can Brahman be ignorant? We don't say Brahman is ignorant, but ignorance has to be in Brahman, because Brahman being infinite, it cannot be. Therefore, the order of reality is different, just as the rope is the adhishtanam for the snake. So what snake? The snake that you think you see. There is no snake there. Then there is no rope. There is no creation. Because you are seeing a snake, where is the snake? Where the rope is? So, but the rope. If you see the rope, then there is no snake. Since you are seeing a snake, what is the where it is? It is supported by the rope. Wherever there is a rope, there is a snake there. So at least in that place. So the rope becomes the adhara, support for the snake. Snake cannot exist without the rope there. So where that snake is right there where the rope is. So that's what essentially we need to look at. Where is the drug? The Maya itself is the vision for the Brahman also. And that's how there is an, what do you call, ontological difference. The order of reality is different of Maya and Brahman. So when you say Maya Pahita Druk is Brahman, so from the pure point, from the absolute point, Brahman cannot have it, but from the relative point we say the Brahman, Maya is its Upadi. Another way also looking at it, as Sri Subramaniam in the Advaita says that once I recognize that Aham Brahmasks me, once I realize that Aham Brahma, after self-realization, who are you? Who are you? I may say some name, but who am I? I understood that I am Brahman. Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. That means knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Why? Because knowing is that I am Brahman, that is the knowledge. So when he realizes that I am Brahman, then it's a Brahman. So from Brahman point, looking back at the creation and say, hey, this is all apparent only, that's not real. What is apparent but appears to be there as though it is real, that is Maya. So I can say the whole creation is called Vibhuti. Vibhuti means it's a beautiful projection and Vaibhavam. Look at my Vibhuti, look at my glory, Arjuna. So Krishna says, all beings are in me. See, Mayatadamidam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina mastani sarvabhutani. So all beings are in me. At the same time, how can there be asamastani bhutani? No beings are in me. So both are valid because this is Pasyami Yogaishwaram. Look at my glory. Because you have to see that from the vision. What a wonder, because it's not there but appears to be there. That's what you see magic show, and that's called the Indrajalam. So when you say the magic on the stage, you feel as though it's a wonder. You see two pieces cut and lady, and then she comes back again. If really cuts, how can he do? He has to take it to the hospital. So that it appears to be there, but as it's not really there, and that's why you call it a wonder. That's why it's called a magic. And that's why the whole Prapancham is called Indrajalam and Mayavi. And who is doing it? He is doing, obviously the musician is doing. And that's what is essentially the Mayopahita Druk Brahma. So once I recognize that Aham Brahmasmi, looking at the creation, then seeing the creation, that is, that Aham Brahma is now looking the creation, and that Druk is essentially, he says, Brahma, the Mayopahita Druk Brahma. So these are various interpretations of that statement of Ramaraya Kavi here. Then the second statement, Maya avachinnatu Ishwaraha. So Maya avachinna tu indeed is Ishwaraha. So who is Ishwara? Now we are coming down to a next level where the one who is using Maya and bounded by Maya and reflected on Maya is Ishwaraha. So Maya avachinna, so that which is limited by the Maya. So when I went and saw I want to see my face, and I saw a mirror there. I went and saw, and my face was there. So how big is my face that I can see? Depending upon the mirror only. So mirror limits my vision of my Pratibimbam in that. So the Pratibimbam is what is called here the reflected consciousness in the Maya of Brahman is Ishwaraha. So Brahman, which is infinite, and Maya is finite in the sense, and in that finite this reflection occurs, and in the reflection that Pratibimbam is Ishwaraha. And therefore Maya vachinna druk, the one who sees by the limited by the Maya and using that, and is a seer. Maya means the whole entire creation is Maya, and he is going to give more, and using the Maya also is Shakti, he creates the rest of it. So the one who is a reflection in the consciousness and using that again, that reflected medium itself into that, and that is what the definition of Ishwaraha. And so Maya avachinnatu Ishwaraha. So Ishwaraha will give again more qualifications later, that is also not at bounded in terms of the total wise, it's bounded by the Pratibimbam, just as my face is limited by the mirror that it can show. If it is there far away, I can see a lot more compared to very close. I can see only, if I put very close to the nose, I can only see only that part. So nose is avachinna pratibimbam there. So in the same way, whatever is limited by the reflecting medium, and that Brahman used by the pratibimba in the Maya is essentially is the Ishwaraha. So Maya vachinna to Ishwaraha. So we have defined Brahman and Ishwaraha, and Kutastha and Jivaha. So here in the similar parallel definition is given in terms of the Kutastha and Jivaha. Avidya upahita druk Kutastha. So Avidya upahita druk. So the one who is the Avidya, is ignorance as a basis for the reflection through which he sees, is called Kutastham. So the Kutastha Chaitanyam is now the consciousness that is getting as though falling on a particular the Jiva, which is a product of Avidya. That part of the consciousness as though limited by the Jiva, the reflecting medium here is essentially the Kutastha. Avidyavacchinnatu Jivaha. The one who is limited by the ignorance is called Jiva. So here, just as Mayavacchinnatu Ishwaraha, Avidyavacchinnatu Jivaha, is differentiating Ishwaraha and Jivaha. We'll go into more details of this after we come back. With this, we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.